So I'm Teresa Ponce de Leão. I'm first of all professor at the Faculty of Engineering of the University of Porto in Portugal. I teach classes on electrotechnical engineering, energy systems planning, but since 2004 I was invited by the government to run a governmental entity, a research institution, a research and technology operation institution, and since 2009 I'm president of the National Laboratory of Energy and Geology. I had a lot of contacts with the Commission, the European Commission, and I'm part of the board of several important energy and geology associations, the European Sustainability Energy Innovation Alliance, where I'm vice president, the European Energy Research Alliance, which is a big alliance around all Europe on energy, and I also act as vice president. Now I'm member of the executive committee, and the European Geological Surveys of Europe, where I performed as president for 3 years. It's a rotative position, and but it's with the application and qualification for the role. So I'm now recently I'm also member of the Bureau of the United Nations Resource Management Systems. I think it's very important for what we are doing here, not only for geological resources, but also for all natural resources. It means that we classify our resources according with their technical and economical feasibility, and then we'll be able, with the work we are doing, to evaluate the best projects, either with renewable resources or geological resources. The LNEG is a research and technology operator. It has two main labs, the Lab of Energy, where we work on all renewable energy and energy efficiency, and the other lab, the Lab of Geology and Mining. This lab also acts as the Geological Survey of Portugal. So, in fact, we are the Geological Survey of Portugal. We do research, and what we want by the results of our research is having research to action, not to research just for research and for the curriculum of researchers, but to action to help the industry, to help our country to be more sustainable, and to work through the projects where we work, to have the best knowledge we can achieve by working on that and by being part of our international associations, where we work by comparison, by looking what is the best work in the world. At this moment, with the main purpose to have solutions for climate action and for circular economy options, and by that we think we are in the forefront of knowledge that results of a strong belief that only by collaborating we can achieve good results. Regarding the strategy for the mining and sector potential, being the Geological Survey of Portugal, we have as our mission the obligation to make the geological cartography of the country, with the purpose to help special planning of the territory, and we do the geological cartography, and with this basis geological cartography we build special planning plans. We build other important cartography like the resources, and this is the point where I wanted to reach. The resources mapping is very important because we deliver to the society the information society needs to know where they can look for the best investments. So we just identify where the resources can be, and then the economy, the private investment will intervene and ask the government for concessions for exploitation and later for exploration. In these two phases, exploitation and exploration, we can also help the economy, because before we studied the country, we identified the best places for the best projects, and then in the exploitation phase we can help companies to orient their exploitation, and in the exploration phase we can intervene on the basis of identifying the amount of the reservoir, the quality of the minerals, and to help them to see if the projects are economically feasible, so that they go for the big investments they need to open a mine. Angola still needs to run a little bit to catch the level of the European and other worldwide developed countries that have very good practices and have the knowledge of their territory. But the good news is that those practices are already implemented. So Angola can shorten the period to know about the resources that exist in this country, and this, I think, a very good example is this project that was launched, the Planageo, that intends to and aims to identify the resources of the country on the basis of geological cartography, and later with more deepened studies by identifying special areas where the project can make more detailed cartography and have all the information prepared for investors to come and look for the best places. Angola also needs to open the data to the investors. We have in Portugal, but it's usual in Europe, we have a geoportal which is completely open to the society. So this is very important because the investors can easily look for the information they need, and this is a way to attract them here. Angola needs to capacitate people. So, and I would say that this is the first step, to have skilled people that are able to pick the projects by their own. By this capacitation of people, it's much easier for them to run the projects and to take the lead of the projects. I think it's something that any country wants in the world, is to take the lead and to define objectives. So I think this is a very big step that Angola needs: capacitation and still investing in the knowledge of the territory, of the whole territory, and invest a little bit on special areas that will be delivered to the investors with more knowledge, and the more knowledge you add to each project, the more easily you attract investors. It was a pleasure to be at AMC. As you know, I'm part of a consortia which is the UTE Planageo, that works for this big project from the government, the Planageo. And we work on 1/3 of the territory. It was, for me, it was really a pleasure to be able to present the very good results we achieved with this project. And even more important than this is that we were able to include in the project the best of the best practices we have in the world, as we did it almost from scratch, not totally, because there were maps from from ancient years, but we used a very innovative methodology. We planned the whole mapping, the sampling, and where one important part of the sampling is the geochronologist analysis. We found very good information so that we can correlate the origin of this territory, and where we could extrapolate very, very good results. They are registered, and they are open in the maps that are in the booth and in the booth of the government, and they are a testimony of the truth of what I'm saying. So this was for us a very important moment to be able to talk openly to the government, that is our contractor, to IGEO, and to the people in general, and to the investors that are here, and that showed so much interest about these pieces of information we are delivering with the Planageo.